In this video, we delve into the fascinating world of rare U.S. coins, focusing on 5 specific denominations: the 2000 P Sacagawea Dollar, 1971 Kennedy Half Dollar, 1967 Washington Quarter, 1976 D Bicentennial Quarter, and the 1979 S Anthony Dollar. We'll explore their histories, unique features, and the rare errors that make them highly valuable to collectors, with some fetching prices between $10,000 and $15,000. The 1971 Kennedy Half Dollar might seem like just another coin in your pocket change, but it carries a story that's deeper than its shiny surface. This particular issue marked a key turning point for the U.S. Mint. Prior to 1971, half dollars, especially those minted from 1964 to 1970, contained 40% silver, and in 1964 alone, they were struck with a rich 90% silver composition. But by 1971, the Mint officially moved the Kennedy half dollar to a copper-nickel-clad composition, similar to what's found in today's dimes and quarters. Despite being considered common, the 1971 Kennedy half dollar has a few quirks that make it worth a second glance. First off, the metal change gave the coin a slightly different weight and appearance compared to its predecessors. Collectors can sometimes spot a slight difference in luster or toning due to this shift in materials. It's not a flashy rarity, but for anyone who enjoys the subtle nuances of coin collecting, it's a quiet little gem. But here's where things get interesting. A small number of 1971 Kennedy half dollars were mistakenly struck on silver planchets left over from 1970. These rare transitional errors are incredibly valuable. If you happen to find one of these in circulation, usually identified by a silver sheen and a weight heavier than the standard 11.34 grams, it could be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. And then there are the double die obverse. These are minting errors where the design on the front of the coin, often in Kennedy's profile or the lettering, appears doubled. Sharp-eyed collectors have snapped up such coins for up to $10,000. The truth is, most 1971 Kennedy half dollars won't fetch more than face value, maybe a buck or two to the right collector. But their historical context makes them fascinating. They're a product of change, literally, a shift in materials, a change in American coinage policy, and a reminder that sometimes even the ordinary coins in your pocket can have extraordinary stories. So next time you get one in your change, don't dismiss it. Give it a closer look, you might just be holding onto a tiny piece of hidden history. The 2000 P Sacagawea Dollar is one of the most interesting modern coins in the United States. It was made to honor Sacagawea, a Native American woman who helped guide Lewis and Clark on their famous expedition in the early 1800s. Her bravery and knowledge of the land made her a key part of their success, and this coin was created to recognize her important role in American history. When the coin was first released in the year 2000, the U.S. Mint wanted to make sure people noticed it. To get the public excited, they teamed up with Cheerios cereal. Inside select boxes of Cheerios, they placed brand new coins, either a 2000 Lincoln penny or a 2000 P Sacagawea Dollar. This was a fun and creative way to introduce the new coin to millions of Americans. But there was something very special about the Sacagawea dollars that were included in the Cheerios boxes. These coins, later called Cheerios dollars, were actually different from the regular Sacagawea dollars that were sent into circulation. On the back of the coin, there is an image of a soaring eagle. On the Cheerios dollars, the eagle's tail feathers are much more detailed and sharp compared to the normal version. This small change is what makes these coins rare and valuable. Not everyone who got a Sacagawea dollar in their cereal box got the rare version. Only about 5,500 of the Cheerios dollars were made with the special tail feather design. That means they're very hard to find today. Some people still have these coins tucked away in drawers, not knowing how valuable they really are. Collectors look for these Cheerios dollars because of the unique design. If the coin is in perfect condition, meaning it hasn't been used or scratched, it can be worth around $4,500. Some may sell for even more, depending on how well they are preserved. You can tell if you have a real Cheerios dollar by comparing the tail feathers on the back of the coin or sending it to a coin grading company. If they confirm it's the rare version, you have something special in your hands. Let me know if you want the next coin written in a similar style. The 1979 S Anthony Dollar holds a unique place in U.S. coinage history as the first circulating coin to feature a woman, Eisenhower's successor, Susan B. Anthony. The coin was introduced with great anticipation and excitement, as it marked a significant step toward gender representation in American currency. Designed by artist Frank Gasparo, the obverse of the coin features a portrait of Susan B. Anthony, while the reverse showcases an eagle landing on the moon, a nod to the U.S. space program. The coin's introduction was meant to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Anthony's death, as well as to introduce a dollar coin for general circulation. However, despite its historical significance, the Anthony dollar struggled to gain widespread acceptance. One of the main reasons for its limited use was its size and appearance. It was nearly identical to the quarter in both diameter and color, making it easily confused with the much smaller denomination. This led to a lack of widespread adoption, as the public found it inconvenient and confusing. The coin was minted for only a few years, with the 1979 release marking the beginning of its short-lived circulation. Among the 1979 Anthony dollars, the San Francisco Mint produced both regular coins and certain examples that exhibit a rare error, the wide rim. In these coins, the rim, the raised edge that frames the coin, is significantly broader than usual, creating an obvious visual anomaly. This type of minting error, caused by a misalignment in the coin's design or a flaw in the die, is extremely rare. For collectors, errors like the wide rim make an otherwise common coin highly desirable. A well-preserved 1979 Anthony dollar with the wide rim error can fetch upwards of $10,000, depending on its condition and the severity of the anomaly. The value of the 1979 Anthony dollar with a wide rim is driven by its rarity, as few such coins were produced. The coin's historical importance also adds to its appeal, as it marks a significant moment in the history of American currency and gender representation. Despite its initial struggles in circulation, the coin's appeal to collectors has grown over time, particularly for those interested in collecting mint errors or U.S. coins with historical significance. The 1967 Washington Quarter holds a special place in numismatic history, as it marks the final year of the traditional 90% silver composition for quarters before the U.S. Mint transitioned to the copper-nickel-clad coins starting in 1965. During this period, Washington quarters were struck using a high-purity silver blend, which gives them a distinct, lustrous appearance that is noticeably different from later clad quarters. This makes the 1967 quarter stand out in both appearance and historical significance. Due to its silver content, the 1967 quarter is particularly sought after by both collectors and silver enthusiasts. However, the coin's true value doesn't solely lie in its silver composition. For those who happen to stumble upon one in high-grade condition, meaning it has minimal wear and retains much of its original mint luster, the 1967 quarter can be worth significantly more than its face value. Coins in excellent condition are typically worth more due to their rarity and appeal to collectors who are looking to add pristine examples to their collections. In addition to high-grade specimens, the 1967 quarter also carries value for its rarity in specific mint error types. One of the most notable errors involves coins that were struck on incorrect planchets, often a mistake that occurs when a coin is pressed onto a blank intended for a different denomination. For example, a 1967 Washington quarter struck on a 25-cent planchet designed for a different coin type can be extremely rare and highly valuable. In some cases, these error coins can be worth up to $15,000, depending on their condition and rarity. Collectors often go to great lengths to find and acquire such rare mint errors, making these types of specimens even more desirable. In general, 1967 Washington quarters in uncirculated or high-grade conditions can fetch anywhere from a few dollars to several hundred, depending on how well they've been preserved. But when you factor in mint errors, the value of these coins can skyrocket, turning what might seem like a simple silver quarter into a highly prized collector's item. These quirks of history, combined with the distinctive silver composition, make the 1967 Washington quarter more than just pocket change. It can be a hidden treasure waiting to be discovered by the discerning eye. The 1976 Bicentennial Quarter is a standout coin in American numismatics, issued as part of the celebration of the nation's 200th anniversary of independence. While it is not exceedingly rare in terms of circulation, the coin's unique reverse design makes it special. On the reverse, instead of the traditional eagle, you'll find a depiction of a colonial drummer, which was chosen to represent the spirit of the American Revolution. This design, created by artist Jack L. Ahr, was part of a special series of coins minted to honor the bicentennial. The 1976 Bicentennial Quarter is notable for its dual commemorative aspect. Not only does it celebrate the nation's independence, but it also marks the year when the mint released special designs on all quarter, half-dollar, and dollar coins. The design was struck on both the regular copper-nickel-clad planchets and a limited number of 40% silver planchets, though the vast majority of these quarters were made with the clad composition. While the 1976 D Bicentennial Quarter is typically seen as a common coin, its appeal lies in its connection to American history, making it highly collectible. Most coins from this series are worth only face value or a small premium in uncirculated condition. However, certain error coins are a different story. Mint errors in particular, such as double strikes or off-center strikes, can make the 1976 D Quarter highly sought after by collectors. A double-struck coin occurs when the coin is struck multiple times, causing a misalignment of the design. This can result in a distorted image or duplicate impressions of elements on the coin. Off-center errors occur when a coin is not properly aligned in the die, resulting in a design that's partially missing or shifted. Both of these error types are rare and are considered highly valuable due to their scarcity. For example, collectors have been known to pay as much as $12,000 for 1976 D Bicentennial Quarters with significant errors, depending on the severity and quality of the mistrike. The premiums for such errors can escalate quickly, especially for coins in exceptional condition or those with especially dramatic anomalies. The allure of the 1976 D Bicentennial Quarter lies in both its historical significance and the possibility of finding a rare, error-struck specimen hidden in circulation. This coin's distinctive design and potential for high-value errors make it a key target for both casual coin collectors and serious numismatists alike.